So I just want to know for you, LaKeith, what was it like stepping into this kind of crime comedy? I definitely feel like you were more animated than we've normally seen you in some of these roles.
Um, it was fun, man. I got off of something that was pretty emotionally heavy, and I wanted to try and counterbalance that with something that was a little bit fun and more lightweight approach, and also an opportunity to move more into the action space, which I think that I've always had a real strong love for action movies, and one of my favorite movie of all time probably is The Matrix.
Oh
And
wow.
I just always loved those like elaborate action scenes, and I wanted to be a part of something that had that spark of excitement and like movement and explosion and like real intense, sort of forward momentum. So this movie felt like a logical move in the right direction if I wanted to get closer to that. And an opportunity to work with Shane Black was something that I thought was quite interesting. And I also would be able to work with Mark, who I've been a fan of for a long time.
Love that. Quick question. What's your favorite Matrix? Which one?
The original for sure. I think it was just the smartest. It had like the biggest ideas. Oftentimes what can happen is you know, when you sometimes make a franchise, what can happen if it's not handled right
Mhm.
is it can become diluted and it can become something that is a little bit off of the original intent of the main one. So I think that it might have suffered from a little bit of that in later franchises, but the original one was my favorite. And franchises can be done very well, don't get me wrong. It's just that the right group of people have to come together and be serious about making it.
Yeah. So your character, Grofield, they kind of describe him as like a strategist and a wild card. How was it like? How were you able to like balance those two sides in your performance?
Yeah, I thought Grofield was pretty fun because he was a performer, and he is a performer and somebody who likes to, who has a very interesting passion for the arts, although is a, criminal and has this criminal element. And that didn't seem too dissimilar from some people I see in Hollywood, frequenting some of these Hollywood parties and events. Not to say that I know for sure that they're criminals, but there's always this like mystery surrounding people in the business and like, what do you do? Like, how did you get in this position? And, I thought it was kind of funny that he used entertainment as a front in order to, engage in his enterprise. But not only was it a front, he actually had a passion for it. So I found him to be pretty interesting on many levels and layers. And so I always try to find dichotomy and characters that I play. And I always find that pretty interesting. It's like, yeah, this dude saved the cat, but also he's addicted to cigarettes. There's always this give and take and this negative and positive polarity in character. So I always like to find that and play with that a little bit. I think you might be on mute or something. I'm not able to hear you.
Sorry, I said my last question for you is you spoke about working with Mark and Shane. I want to know how was it like kind of building that dynamic, working with building it with Mark, but then under the direction of Shane.
That was fun. Mark is such a great, fun dude and very present and silly. That childlike essence is definitely present within him, and Shane's the same way. Just like really fun, inventive people who are just like dedicated to, making something that people can have a good time being a part of. So it was really quite fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.